Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Language Facilitation Energy Focus. And today I'm super inspired. I've got all my astrology tools out. I've been playing around looking at them. I just went to a mystic fair, local fair, and talked to an astrologer about my work. And we were just chatting about ways to bring astrology to everybody and how people can use them. And I saw even last week there was somebody on my channel who put out some information. She just put a comment that they actually use astrological information in the kids' charts. So welcome everybody to another energy focus video. My name is Marci Melzer, and I'm an intuitive speech language pathologist and language facilitation coach and consultant. And my platform, Waves of Communication, is all about equipping and empowering parents to get your best results by using all of the information that's available to you. And that's why today's topic for energy focus is we're going to be digging into astrology. And I am not an astrologer. I mean, I'm just as much of an astrologer as anybody can be. And I think that's the whole point of my platform, is we want to bring these tools available to everybody here, so you can access them as part of your language facilitation toolbox. So how I'm going to be going about that on this video is I've got 3 ways that I go about these energy focus videos. We're going to be starting with general astrology. That's going to be helping everybody. I've got 3 videos from the Waves of Communication platform to share with you about the current astrology and what's going on, and also to help you study astrology. And then today, I'm going to dig in to each individual sign with my language facilitation inspiration cards. And we're going to go through all the signs so that when you figure out what your child's sun and rising sign are, and maybe their Mercury, where their Mercury placement is, you can watch this video anytime to get some insight about your child and their lens about communication and language development. You might even learn a little bit about why they're late talking and what could be going on to contribute to all of that. So that's how we're going to go about it. So let's start with the current astrology for everyone. And what we need to talk about, I've got 4 things I want to highlight for you. The first is the sun has moved into Leo. Dun, 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 dun. This is the sign of the sun. The sun rules Leo. Leo is the sign of the child, the sign of the expressive, the performer, the out there projecting yourself to the world sign. And this is why I love it. I just happen to be a Leo rising, and I feel like I'm coming into my time, my realm right now, because obviously what I do is I talk about what I do online, and I'm a performer. So Leo sun is going to bring out the performer in everyone. Even if you don't have Leo in your chart, we all feel a little bit more like getting on stage this time, which is great for everybody who's language facilitator, because even if you're normally a quiet person, you're going to get more energy now to help you do this. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is we've got a new moon in Leo. So the sun's there, the moon's there, it's coming into Leo at the same time that the sun is here for the first time this year, at the same time, when they happen at the same time and they're right on top of each other. That's when we get a new moon, and we've got the new moon in Leo that's coming up just tomorrow on the 28th or 29th, depending on where you are. I think it's all pretty much the 28th for everybody. And then the other thing that's happening is we've got this massive triple conjunction. If you have been following astrology, you understand that the 3 planets that are lining up right now, the 3 planetary bodies, are the North Node, which is our direction and our focus and our life purpose. It's in Taurus, and on top of it, it hit on top of Uranus, and also Aries is there, or Mars, I mean, is there. So in Uranus. So it's Mars and Uranus and the North Node. So what this spells is change and rapid change and big change. And all the astrologers have been talking about how we might see things like earthquakes and tsunamis, shakeups, things that are going to shake up our foundations. Taurus is the foundation. Uranus shakes things up. And Mars just literally lights the fuse on the bomb that shakes things up. And that's why there's all these concerns about global events. And I just was looking before I got on about a massive earthquake that killed a bunch of people in the Philippines. So all of the positive energy that can come around blowing things up and developing can also happen and show up in major earthy astrological events. And that's what's going on. So this particular conjunction in this formation has not happened for 2,000 years. It was the time of Alexander the Great. So it's a brand new opportunity for literally leveling the playing field and starting out on brand new systems in the way everything is moving. And that's what earthquakes do. They level the playing field. Things that used to be standing up are falling down. It could be happening in your personal life. Again, it all depends on your chart and what's going on. And again, all of my kindest energy for recuperation and survival, and all the support for what's going on in areas that are really affected by this right now. Also, the heat is on right all over the country. We've got this Taurus, we've got Mars heating up things so hot. You've got to make changes. You're doing things different in your life, right? A lot of heat, a lot of change, a lot of volatility, earthquakes. Think about that energy. It's going on for everybody right now. So you could see in your child a lot of volatility, a lot of opposition, okay? Now, the other thing that's going on right now, the fourth thing astrologically that you need to understand that's really going to affect everybody this week is that Jupiter is going retrograde there in Aries. So it's going to be, it entered Aries at the last Mercury retrograde time, and now it's going retrograde, and then Mercury's going to be going retrograde while Jupiter's retrograde. We got a lot of retrograde planets coming in. So what I want to share with you now is some videos that will help you dig a little bit more deeply into these particular themes that are coming up in our current astrology. And so the first one is this. It's about what should parents expect with language facilitation, because this is when your expectations are literally blown up. Expectations, what we plan on, what we thought was going to happen. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. This is what we're thinking about. And again, where Taurus is in your chart is what really makes a difference. And so we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then what we also need to think about is the volatility of what's going to happen right now. So I'm sharing this video, that expectations video, because your expectations could be blown out. And tomorrow's video, we're going to be talking about what happens when your expectations aren't met. Because we all have expectations, whether we want to eliminate them or not, we all develop them. And this is the time when many of your expectations could be not coming to fruition for you. Okay. And so one of those things is you could be expecting your child to comply and cooperate and go with the flow if you are, trying some new things, and they could be acting in opposition to the things that you are trying to facilitate. They're bringing out their opposition this time because it's time for it. If they're feeling it, they could be bringing it out. And then this next video is for those of you who are interested in learning more about astrology. And look at the dates on this. This was May 4th through 10th of 2022. That was when Mercury was going into retrograde, and also Aries was entering into, or Jupiter was entering into Aries at that time. And so this is when we were really thinking about redoing and regoing. And so now you have the opportunity with Jupiter there and able to go and revisit the plans that are maybe not meeting your expectations, right? It's time to get work done. Now, it's always time to get work done, but we always can learn what we focus on. And then we look at these general astrologies to see what happens for all of us. But then when you really want to use astrology, like I'm guiding you today, is when you want to look at more in-depth information to understand where these planets sit in your own chart. And how you have to do that is you have to know the location and time of your birth. And you can put them in a chart like astro.com. Just search on Google or whatever your favorite search engine is. Search for free birth chart, and you have to know the time and location, of course the date as well, but it's the time and location because what you see, and I want you to screenshot this if you're interested in using it, the dial on the right, you see that those crossing, the big crossing lines up and down. The lateral line, the one that goes right to left, is the rising sign. That's where the sun was coming up at the time and location of your birth. And that's why it's important, not just the date, like what day your child was born on, but where in the world and what time, because that's when the sun is rising. And remember, it rises at a different place and time depending on where you are in the world. So if you were born on, my birthday is February 5th, if you were born on February 5th at 2 o'clock in the morning versus February 5th at 10 o'clock in the evening, your rising is going to be different. So even two people who have a birthday on the same date, were born on the same date, even in the same hospital, right? You're born at a different time, so your chart's going to be different, but your location is the same. So you could be born at exactly the same time. You know, I was born at 3:51 p.m. and if there was other people born on February 5th at 3:51 p.m. in different parts of the world, and their chart's going to look different than mine because they're rising. The sun is rising in a different sign depending on where you are in the earth, because we look at where these planets are in comparison to our position. That's how we learn about ourselves. Where are we in the grand scheme of retrogrades and planets in houses and all of that stuff? Okay, so if you do know your child's time and place of birth, and you happen to know their sun, so the sun sign is easy. That's where the sun was when you were highlighted on the day you were born, because the sun changes every month, so it'll be in the same position all day, unless of course you were born on the cusp where the sun moves during your birthday, which is another exciting component to your chart. But that doesn't matter as much as this business of the houses. So let me show this graphic one more time so you can look at the wheel on it'll be your left side. It's the 12th houses of astrology. And I got this off this website here. And you can look at these numbers to see which of these houses affects different aspects of your life. And you see the number 1 here is where that rising is. So the first house is always where that lateral line begins. And that's how you know, that's how astrologers know when you look at your chart where your rising is. And if you do your chart on astro.com, they'll just tell you your sun's in this, your moon's in this, your rising is this. They'll tell you what degrees, they'll tell you all kinds of things. And this is how I started my astrology study, is I put in and I started studying my birth chart and I figured out where my houses are. So right now, today, Leo is in the first house. This Leo new moon that we've got is in the first house. Anybody who is a Leo rising like me, right now, your first house is activated by all these planetary things going on with the sun and the moon. And then as far as, because my first house, let me show you this chart one more time. My first house is in Leo, so it'll be where that number 1 is. Then you have to look around to where Taurus is. And Taurus right now is in number 9 for me. So where that triple conjunction is happening for me is happening in the 9th house, where this current sun and moon, this new moon is in my first house. So if I want to look at how a new moon is affecting me, I'm going to look at my first house. If I want to look at how this triple conjunction is affecting me, I'm going to look at my 9th house. Now, Aries is my 8th house, and that's where Jupiter is retrograde. So if I want to learn how to work with Jupiter retrograde, I'm going to look at my 8th house things. And so what I've done here today is I've decided to go ahead and pull out my cards and pull out my house chart, and we're going to go through the signs one by one, starting with Leo, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what we see in the astrology, and we're going to pull a card, okay, depending on the house. Now, if your child's a Leo sun, you can look at these titles for your child's sun, or their rising, or their Mercury, because we're talking about spoken language development, and Mercury's the planet of spoken language development. My Mercury's in Aquarius. Now, where your child's sun is, you want to watch the label for their sun, you want to watch the label for their moon, and you want to watch the label for their Mercury when you find out in their birth chart. So you can come back to this video later and watch it then, and it's perfect anytime, because you know this is the birth chart stuff. The transit things you work with later, but this is birth chart stuff we're talking about here. All right, let's get started with the Leos out there. All you Leo risings and suns out there. The first house is about self. And self right now, you're going to be focused on getting yourself on stage. How do I project myself out to the world, my personality? And if they're nonverbal, they're going to be sharing, okay? They're just going to be like acting out and on stage. Now, also, Leo is focused on the hair. You could feel, I'm just getting that feeling right now. You could be feeling hair. So let's see what the Leo late talkers, the kids with Leo in their chart, what they want to share with the world right now with the language facilitation cards. And they say, I appreciate what you do. Now, the other thing about Leo is it is a heart-centered. All of my cards are also color-coded by the chakras, and the planets are also related to the chakras. It's so interesting how these things come together. And oops, let me fix my graphics here because that's looking a little funky for me. Sorry about that, everybody. I just want it to be better for everyone. Oops. Bear with me because I want to talk about you Leos, but this background's driving me nuts. Thank you again for, thank you. Okay, so this card says, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what you do. And again, the background's going to be weird because of my things. And it says express gratitude. So late talkers appreciate all that you do for them as much as you appreciate when they make an effort to listen and help you out. Okay. So they're on stage right now telling you that they want you to acknowledge out loud when you receive a smile, cuddle, or hug from the late talker. Oh, you're really thankful. You're really happy. Remember, we're turning nonverbal communication into speech. So are you helping your late talker go ahead and facilitate that? Now, remember, it shows gratitude and appreciation. So you want to communicate with this Leo late talker. Gratitude is their jam. They're heart-centered beings. Show them how to appreciate what they have by your own appreciation. Say thank you every time they try extra hard. They're trying hard. They're in their ego right now. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Give them attention and focus and show gratitude that they're doing a hard work, right? And they're going to go out of their way to be seen. You go ahead and shine the spotlight on them right now. Show gratitude that they're working hard and getting things going. Okay, so that's what's going on for the Leos right now. Let's see. I see some. Rachel says, will this be saved somewhere else? Yes, of course. It's live right now, but the replay is always available for all families. So you can come back later and watch anytime. Okay. So thank you for bearing with me as I go and, loving all this. So Leos, shout out to all of you. And like I said, they're the performers. These are kids that you cannot shut down their communication. They want to be coming out, especially if they're Mercury's in Leo. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next sign I'm going to be talking about. It's Virgo. And I'm starting with Leo because right now Leo's in the first house. Now, Virgo babies, right now, this is second house, okay? That's a second house thing. And the second house is daily routine and income and your possessions. Like your late talker right now, these days, could be focused on their intentions with this new moon, their possessions, I mean. They could be very focused on creating new things because remember, this is what you do every day. So if they like to draw, if they like to, they're creators. This whole Virgo people are the creators. They're the decorators. They're the ones that make everything look beautiful. They're putting lipstick on. They're prettying themselves up right now. Just really looking at, don't you like what I have? These are the people that like designer things, all of that. And so they can also be divas because they're more focused on possessions, right, than other people. Sometimes they can be. In the new moon, that's where they're feeling their ego. So let's see what they have to say. And it says this: consider the sacrifice. Look at that. There's money going out the window. Could be these Virgo kids are, maybe a little too hyper focused on their possessions and they need you to help them. So it says here, create your own results. Remember, I said these guys are creators. They don't want to be told what to do. They want to create their own version of what this looks like. It can feel tempting to give away your energy to outside experts or stuff. Look at my new designer thing. Look at my new haircut. Look at my new whatever. Don't let this late talker try to get you to focus on the things that they have or the things that they whatever instead of your connection with them. Okay, because they could be in their ego all about their stuff and wanting more stuff. And you've got to help them work on shifting. Remember, we've got this triple conjunction where our egos are getting tested. We're getting out of our comfort zones. The comfort zone is, I need my next shopping trip for a lot of Virgo kids. And maybe this is what's going on. It's okay to stop any intervention or habits. I need more. I need you to do it for me. That's again the diva. I need you to fix me. I need you to fix that. I'm too diva-like. It's not in me. I need someone else to do it. I don't think I can. They doubt they can, right? Or they don't like it and they want to create their own. You see what resonates for you with your Virgo baby, okay? And then create fun alternatives. They like their own version. Alternatives using knowledge from your experiences. What does this kid like? What's this kid's style, right? Virgos are all about style. What are you sacrificing for style? Are you sacrificing connection for stuff? Are you sacrificing connection are you facilitating you connecting in spoken language for pretty videos and shiny objects, right? That's the message for you Virgos. All right. So now we're moving into the next sign, which is Libra. So if you have a late talker who is a sun or a rising or a Mercury in Libra, here are the messages for you. That child's in the communication sector. Libras are natural communicators. Chatties anyway. Not a lot of Libra risings are late talkers because they find a way to communicate. And if your late talker does have a lot of this Libra in their chart, they could be telepathically communicating with you. They're going to communicate any way they can. So let's say they've got ear fluid or they've got tongue ties or they've got physiological things that are going to stop them. These are the kids that are going to teach you to be telepathic with them. Okay. So communication. I got something to see. I want to know what's going on. They want to understand everything and they want to analyze things. That's what goes on. Air sign kids, right? All about this communication. So with this new moon, they're focused on it. They got messages. They're trying to communicate with you, these kids. Okay. Now it says here something has to change. So these kids, they want realistic expectations, it says on the back. Parents may feel overwhelmed as a result of taking on the sole responsibility for perfection. Oh yeah, that's the other thing about these kids, is they are perfectionists. They want to learn all the details about everything so they don't get it wrong. Is your Libra late talker a perfectionist trying to get you, or maybe you have Libra in your chart and you're trying to be perfectionist with your child? But remember, these are the kids that have it in their chart, and they won't talk until they know it's perfect, right? They won't give it to you because they don't want to be wrong. They want to be correct. They want to come correct. Libra always comes correct in their ego. And at this new moon in Leo, they're on stage being correct. Or they'll be observing. They're passively observing and absorbing and learning, analyzing, and projecting when they get it right. So Libra kids don't talk. They may wait. These are the latest late talkers because they won't project it unless it's perfect. They're not trial and error, hack through whatever. Like Leo, I don't care how I'm heard. You can hear all my gobbledygook, blah, 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 blah. But not these guys. They're going to speak correct. They're going to come correct. But so you and the late talker need to have realistic expectations. You can't be correct on day one. You can't be 100% accurate on day one. These kids are like the child who goes to the football game and they want to be the goalie. They see them and they're enamored with that experience. They want to be there, but they won't do it unless they're perfect. And they'll go home and they'll practice and they'll practice and they'll practice and they'll practice until they become perfect goalies. Okay? Realistic expectations is 1% improvement every day, and then focusing on that improvement and building on skills to make your evolution and get there. It's not like you push the goal away, but you have realistic expectations of how to get there, okay? Teach everyone around you how to successfully interact with this kid who wants to be perfect, because they want to learn from everybody. How does he do it? 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 How does she do it? Oh, she was more successful than him. I'm going to do it her way. They learn this way with patterns and analysis, okay? So keep it realistic. When they try to be better than they are, or they hold off, or they get down on themselves because they're not perfect yet, because they just started this process with you, okay? Everybody get realistic. Talk through your process. Talk through everything. They want to know why you do it, how you do it, the way to do it properly, what's right, what's wrong. Explain everything to these kids because they always want more information. Okay. Golly, let's move forward. So I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, please like this video and share with your friends, share on your place, share the idea of astrology and language. Let's think about how this could relate to me. And if it is relating to you, please let me know, because I just want to know if this is good. I just was inspired to go through this today. And yeah, all right, let's put the energy into the Scorpio. For the Scorpio kids, if your child has in their astro chart either the sun, rising, or Mercury in Scorpio, here is the message from them. And it's this one. Of course, it's purple because it's very high end. Scorpio is very spiritual. It's also a water sign. And this is the 4th house of family and home. I'm comfort zone. This is the comfort zone kids. And these guys say, turn on the tunes. The Scorpios want music. Okay? Because music regulates their energy, and they might be emotionally triggered. Water sign kids, especially Scorpio kids, they think about the dark side. When they don't hear, these are the kids that might jump to conclusions, right? Oh no, they go to the worst case scenario sometimes. That's the dark side of things. That's Scorpio, right? So they're thinking about the negatives and why isn't it happening, and they could be going that way, and music keeps them up. Music keeps their spirits going. They could be tempted to look for, because we learn about why things aren't happening, and grabbing on after those red flag lists and all this stuff about why it's not possible for me, to try to make yourself feel better about the fact that it's not happening. But these kids want music. They want the rhythms. They want the pattern. They want to be uplifted. They might need you to help them be uplifted, because right now in this Leo new moon, they're watching everybody else out on the stage doing their thing. And during that, the Scorpio's natal Scorpios, they don't like all that energy stuff. They're quiet kids. They're analyzers. They're the dark side. They're observers, lurkers, watchers. They learn from watching other people, and then they integrate things. And they could be using patterns. Let's see what it says. Late talkers often use musical melody and rhythm to help them organize the information they've memorized and feel calm. Okay? Maybe music is your Scorpio kiddo's comfort zone. And that lets you, like, you can take them into new realms of public social things that are out there, which aren't natal to them, that aren't native right away. But because remember, with this conjunction with the business in the North Node, if your child's Mercury is in Scorpio, or if all this is happening in your child's fourth house, it just all depends on their foundations are feeling rattled right now. Rattled. And they want regulation. They're feeling disorganized. That's whenever I see kids seeking out music, they need regulation and soothing. That's why we all listen to music. You listen to poppy music when you want to have energy to clean the house, and you listen to soothing music when you want to go to sleep, because music regulates energy, okay? And so these kids, Scorpio kids, they like the music this full moon. All right, let's move into the next sign we're going to talk about, and that's Sagittarius. So if you have a late talker who has a sun, a rising, or Mercury in Sagittarius, here is the message from those kids right here in the middle. Ooh, it's red, of course, because Sagittarius is fire sign. Oh, I'm unwell. This is I'm unwell. Uh-oh. Teach through recovery. So these Sagittarius kids right now, with this new moon and all this crazy conjunction and stuff happening, are feeling the need for explanations about why their situation is as it is. They don't feel comfortable. They could be feeling unwell physically, environmentally, or emotionally, okay? Because there's lots of ways we feel unwell. They could be feeling sorry for someone. They could be feeling sad about loss. They could be feeling anxious, but it's not well. It's not good. I don't feel good, right? And these late talkers, they want, because they're Sagittarius kids and they are problem solvers. Sagittarius are perfect at learning, yeah, I can do this, no problem. They don't suffer from any of that problem with the worry about, I don't know if I can. They've moved through that part. They left that part behind. As you think about going around that cycle, that astro cycle, you'll see that these kids, they sort of have overcome what's sort of right in front of them. They manage their emotions and they take action. Sagittarius kids take action. These are the kids, if your kid's Mercury's in Sagittarius and they're late talking, their speech is going to come out like a fire hose. All this stuff all at once, because they're not like those Libra kids. They don't care about getting it correct. They got to get it out. They got to keep moving. They're going to go. They're going to take action. And if they are not feeling well enough to go, they're going to show you, oh no, it's like a car with a broken tire, or, whatever. It's just like, it won't go. And then it's frustrated and sad because it wants to go and it can't. It's like a Ferrari with a flat tire is this situation, okay? So remember, whenever we're unwell, these are signs of things that we need to focus on. And so this card says teach through recovery. So whatever your late talker's focused on trying to heal, their physical, environmental, or mindset, like, how can I make my environment better so I can get something done? How can I make my mindset better so I can get something done? Because these kids want to get something done. They don't want to sit around and do nothing. Okay. And so talk about these physical symptoms, talk about the physical problem, talk about the environmental problem, talk about the mindset problem. You have to talk about the problem first. Oh no, you fell down and skinned your knee and now it's bleeding. There's blood coming out. They want you to dig in to this problem so they know you value it as much as they do, and you're going to take as much action as they would. Because these guys, if they can't take action, they want you to take action. They're demanding you to take action. Sagittarius kids, they make things happen. If they can't do it themselves, they make other people do stuff. They manipulate in order to make things happen. If things aren't well for them, they're not feeling copacetic, they're gonna let you know. So for this new moon, maybe for the next 2 weeks, just focus on what's irritating your late talker. And you might see a massive jump in language development because they're equipped and empowered to talk about what they're thinking about, which is their problems and solving problems. Okay, let's move to the next sign. We're done with Sagittarius, moving into Capricorn. Now with Capricorn, that is, Sagittarius is the pleasure house. Got to go pop right back really quick to Sagittarius. 5th house of pleasure and fun. Always out. If it isn't fun, it isn't fun is the Sagittarius mantra. So they're right now feeling this, how can I get out and have fun with this Leo new moon? They want to get out and have fun. Capricorn. Okay, so now we're in Capricorn, which is the 6th house of health. So it's interesting how that other one got, the 5th house got the health card in here. Let's see what the Capricorns who are focused on the physical body and their physical health right now and how that's all working. That's the Capricorn sign. Look, it says, find me in my comfort zone. And it's a little hard to see. A mom and a baby in a swaddly thing, and they're all together like that. Oh, there goes my background again, acting funny. Every time I do the cards, it does. Let's fix that real quick. Thank you. Okay, so it says, find me in my comfort zone. This is a yellow, and it says reach and teach. And so Capricorn, in this health, in this my well-being, right? Just like that other card said, I don't feel well. These guys, their focus is on the foundation's well-being. It's another earth sign where they're really, really interested in creating the foundations. Remember, this is also the sign that starts the new year. Astrologic or the calendar year is Capricorn, like New Year's resolutions and how our new plans are. They're not so active like Sagittarius. They're more like, whoa, that worked or didn't work, because we kind of remember we're moving out of one house into the next, and they realize what worked and what didn't, and they're in the planning and formulation and thinking through stage. Maybe not a lot of action, maybe a hem and haw, thinking back and forth. And this reach and teach says these kids, and I'm not surprised that Capricorn finds comfort zones. That's their jam. They find what works and stick with it. They're not so open to change and looking at new things as much as they are like, this is how I sort of like these things. And so now during this big situation that we've got with this triple conjunction, your child wants you to find them in their comfort zone and help them come out safely. That's why reach and teach. When you join them where they are in their comfort zone, then they're more open to you coming out and seeing other things. So late talkers can listen and process speech models more easily when they feel safe and comfortable, when they're in their Capricorn self, right? And ask if you may join the late talker. Don't just go and join them and take their stuff or try to manipulate. You have to ask. Just like if you were doing something, you would appreciate someone to ask before they came and joined and started using your materials and doing your thing. They would want to know if you're interested in a cooperative experience. And remember, as a language facilitator, you're always interested in a cooperative experience, and you want to make that habitual with your Capricorn baby. Let's do this together. I'll stand by and help you. I'll be here with you, okay? So ask if you may join the late talker while they're hanging out or enjoying themselves, doing what they're doing their thing, and offer an opportunity to join you while you're doing things that you know they love. So it's just normalizing the idea of cooperative experiences, even if we're just hanging out and experiencing the same thing at the same time. I like this cool pool. I like this warm blanket. I like this yummy meal. I like this stargazing we're doing. Whatever you do together, reach, teach is you creating that as a joint experience, sharing it together, right? And show gratitude for the time that you spend together, because I promise there'll be a time in your life when your kids grow up and move away and you'll miss it. So this is the time that you want to reach them, connect with them, and teach them what they want, right? Okay. So let's move into the next sign. Capricorn, moving into Aquarius now. Thanks for sticking with me, all you guys. Like I said, we started with Leo because we've got the Leo new moon. Oh, Aquarius card fell out. Not surprised because it's Aquarius. So Aquarius is the in this particular time right now. Aquarius is activated in the 7th house. Whoops, sorry. Get my thing. Get my background together. Okay. And it says, you understand my problems. So Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. And right now in the 7th house, those aqua babies, if your rising or your sun or your Mercury is in Aquarius, you're focusing on expressing yourself through relationships. These are one-on-one, your personal relationships, your best teacher, your mom, your dad, your boss, your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your best friend, the one you hang out with all the time. It could be your childcare provider, who your late talker has as their jam friend right now. And that the reason that the late talker has chosen this friend, this connection, this partner, is because they are working cooperative, because that partner understands them. And an Aquarius child is very good at connecting with other people, seeing things from the other perspective. They're humanitarians naturally, and they see why other people have problems, and they want to be understood themselves. More than anything right now, they're projecting their giving, their humanitarianism, their how do we make the world better. And often Aquarians don't consider their own selves before they consider other people. And your late talker needs consideration right now during all this volatility stuff that's going on. Maybe because if we've got this, again, if this triple conjunction is happening in your child's Aquarius, they could be losing friends or making friends, going to new situations where they're meeting new friends. And you have this opportunity to help them connect with these friends in their way that they see. They want to know that other kid's story. They want to know how they fit with that other kid or that group or that whatever right now. That's what they're thinking about. They want people to understand that they maybe aren't as good as the other kids in this group class, but they will do their best. So it says right here, they may react to frustrating or triggering situations. I know I'm not as good as my friends here, right? With dramatic or aggressive communication, because they could be so frustrated. Remember, they're late talkers. I'm not sure how they're communicating. You do. Identify the problem from the child's perspective. Isn't it crazy how these cards come out? I just am so thankful to have them as a tool to use. And of course, if you are interested, there are cards available and you can get them in the description of this video. Show that you care about their feelings, understand their struggles, and you want to help because you're all on the same team. It's not like you have to take care of me and I have to take care of you. We're here together as a partnership with this 7th house activation right now with this new moon in Leo. That's what's going on. For your Aquarian late talker, they want to be collaborative. They want people who understand them. They don't want people to tell them what to do, right? They're very independent. Aquarians are very independent, do not like to follow rules even, unless they understand that the rules are super valuable for them, okay? Woo! Big messages for the Aquarians. Card even fell on the floor. Okay, let's move into the Watery Pisces, who's in the 8th house right now, activated with this new moon. And yeah, so you're feeling the passion. 8th house is passion. It's also death, taxes, sex, all that stuff that we're really passionate about, either in a positive or negative ways. Because remember, think about our passions. Anything that we're excited about, and this is where your late talker is super focused on their superpower, their jam, what they want to access. And it's a Leo full moon, new moon. So they are planting seeds and setting intention to get what they want, to get their needs met. You know what I mean? We're talking about that in there. I got to get some, right? What do they got to get? You don't know. Your lay talker, what are they trying to get some right now? Okay, let's see about that. Look at this. It says, is this for me? Can I have some of that? Can I have some of that? Can I have some of that? They want to know what their boundaries are. It says draw clear boundaries because these kids are trying to get some. And they don't know what's for them and what's not for them. They need you to show them because they're in their ego right now trying to get it. Okay? Late talkers learn by free exploration. So remember, is it for me? Can I have some of this? Can I have? They want to try everything. They want to get some. So create a yes environment where everything you offer is potentially available. And if it's not, you draw the boundaries. You can have everything over here. You can have everything in this area. You can have everything you want. Go for it. Let's explore. And then join them in the exploration, right? You create the yes environment and then join them and say, let's learn about this. Let's try some of this. Let's try some of this. This is the most amazing position for you guys to be in because your kids are wanting to explore right now. Okay, they want to get some. So use visual cues with clear explanation to describe the limits of what your child can have. And you do that before you begin. You say, this is where we can. We can have 2 pieces of candy. We can have 1 video. We can have 20 minutes at the playground, right? And then reserve. This is the key thing for these kids. Because as soon as you say to a child who's in the process of trying to do their passion, no, don't, or stop, it's like, all that passion goes out the window as soon as you try to shut them down. Nobody wants to be shut down when they're trying to get some, okay? I know that you guys are reading between the lines here, but this is what goes on when the 8th house is activated. These kids are in their passion. And you get a new moon that's activated in an 8th house, and you've got a late talker that's looking to get some, okay? So enjoy the time. Offer things that are new, that your child hasn't done yet, hasn't explored yet, hasn't tried yet, because that's how we develop passions. We try something new for the first time. I love this, right? This is what you're trying to facilitate with the late talker. They're not focused on their problems like those Capricorn kids. They're focused on trying to get something new. Okay, I love that. All right, now let's talk about Aries. Aries are the go-getters. It's fire sign. It's the number 1 sign in the zodiac. When you think about like the beginning, it's ego, 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 ego. And right now, those kids are in the 9th house, the exploration of philosophy. Like, why do I love this? Okay, remember, we know what we love. We found our passion. We trial and errored it in that other house. But this is what is happening right now for the Aries kids. They want to explore what's new. Maybe they figured out what they don't like, and they're looking for the next best thing. That's what usually happens in 9th house, because you get into philosophy. You get into learning new concepts that you never, ever explored before. Because how do you evolve, everybody? We go through this cycle, right, of all the things we've got to focus on in our life. That's why all these planets move around to all these signs at different times. Next month, all this stuff's going to shift one sign, and then shift another sign the next month, and shift another sign the next month. And then remember, because the chart looks today and all these planets, they don't move at the same speed. So next month, it's a whole new configuration. of planets and what's going on. That's why it helps you if you understand this. Then when you watch videos like mine and you can go refer to your chart, you can say, aha, this is why my kid's 8th house is activated, or my kid's 9th house is activated. No wonder they won't stop wanting to go outside every minute. No wonder they won't stop trying to get new things, or they're rejecting the food that they love to eat 20 times. All they wanted for 2 months was spaghetti and meatballs, and now they won't touch it. That's a 9th house activation with this kind of conjunction, or a new moon in Leo. Nah, I want to project myself. I'm vegan now, right? That's what happens with this kind of situation. I'm planting new seeds about a change because I have a new philosophy about how I do this thing. I don't eat meat anymore because I don't want to hurt animals, or I want to start eating meat because I want to have a keto diet. All of those things. It's the why that happens in the 9th house. We understand why we do what we do. We're thinking about it and we're sharing it. Okay, let's see what card we get for you guys. It's a good time for tea. So with these guys in their exploration, they want to have a chat. They want to sit down and see. It says take a coffee break. Find daily opportunities to take a break from work jobs and reconnect over a drink or a snack. I love this. It's just a little tea party picture, right? Set aside special biscuits or snacks that are only available for your special break time, right? Special break snacks. Then your child's going to want to take a break with you and talk. Then they want to have conversation over tea. That's a 9th house thing. Let's talk about why it's raining every day. What do you talk about over tea? The things you're thinking about, the things you read about, the things you saw on social media, all of that stuff, okay? And that's what's going on right now for these Aries kids. They want you to have special time with snacks, right? And that's going to motivate this Aries kid to explore and connect over when you feel worn out or when you just want to have a discussion. I want your undivided attention while we sit and have our cup of tea and enjoy. I'm going to have a little sip myself. Okay, moving on to Taurus. So if your late talker was born in the spring during Taurus season, their sun is in Taurus, their rising is in Taurus, or their Mercury is in Taurus. Right now, their 10th house is activated of social status. So 10th house is all about social. Who am I talking with? This isn't just my one-on-one partner. This is my friends. This is my crowd. This is my gang. This is how do I fit in the new summer camp? Or am I going to school? Like these new kids that might be going to school. How do I fit in the school? How do I fit in to this community? What's my role in the community? How am I developing? I've learned what I love. I learned why I love it. Now I want to establish. And that's what it's also the career sector. So as an adult, remember all those things you learn through your life, the things you're good at is what you end up doing for your job. That is your persona. That's your, I am a intuitive speech pathologist, language facilitation coach. That's when you start adding on, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a nanny, I'm a, whatever. That's what happens in the 10th house is you start thinking about who you are in the world. Okay. And so these Taurus kids are looking at their social status, right? Let's see what they are doing. Who are they? It says we're in this together. They want to be a team player. Also team player time. I just love how these cards work out so great. So it's about social status in your, how you feel in your, who are you? And this says share your strategy. So remember, your late talker, this says we're in this together. They want to learn the new way to be, like how, remember when you go that career day, like they watch and they're seeing, oh, there's the firefighter and he gets to do these things in his job, and the nurse gets to do these things in his job, and the doctor gets to do these things in her job, and the construction worker gets to do these things in his job, and I want to do those things when I grow up. I want to be that. Your late talker could right now just be wanting to be like you. and they want you to represent that persona that they are evolving into, right? They want to be the soccer player. They want to be the construction worker. They want to be that. We all go through this in our life, and your late talker is thinking about it right now with this new moon in Leo presenting their platform on the world. They want to be something. They want to be something. And they want to know how to do it. They want to get the strategy. They want to know how to look, feel, be, and do what that person is doing. And they want you to show them as a demonstration. So reluctant late talkers will stop resisting and work hard to try to improve their speech when they trust that you are focused on the process as much as progress, right? They want to know how to be better, be great. Explain how you make it easy. Look, all you got to do is this. You got to just do this. This is what I do. I do it this way. I brush my hair this way. I dance this way. I cook this way. I crack the eggs this way. This is what these guys are looking for. Oh, all right. If I do that, then I'm going to be like you. Done. I'm in. They join you and they'll start doing it, right? And then you practice and go super slow and explain everything. And you just give them more and more responsibility as they go until they are a chef. They are a cleaner. They are a little sister or a big brother, right? They are that personality because you equip them and empower them to be that personality together. We're in this together. You don't watch them grow up. You cooperatively facilitate their evolution, right? That's what the Taurus kids want. And they're builders. They like to build a lot. Okay, we've only got 2 more signs left. We're getting into Gemini right now. Gemini kids are in the 11th house. Woo! Of course, 3 cards. 3 cards fell out for Gemini because they're the chatties. They're communicative. Let's how what the messages can come out through this card. Aquarius too. It's so funny how that happens. Okay, let me fix my background again. This particular starry background's challenging with me today. And let's see. Okay, so your son's a Leo. I promise you can come back and see. Leo was first today. So just watch on the replay and you can see it when you come back. Or if you're watching live, you can scroll backwards maybe to find the thing. But look for the tag and then you can see it. If you are so inclined, you could screenshot or timestamp these if you're watching on one of the videos. But let's get into Gemini. I don't want you guys to wait. Gemini babies in the 11th house of community and your influence. So this is how you affect other people. 10th house is who you are. 11th house is how you interact as that new evolved self you are, right? What do you do? How are you making your impact in the world? How are you, a member of that community? What contribution do you have in a community group instead of just a partnership or facilitating your own betterment? So these Gemini kids, remember, another air sign, and talkers, they want to communicate. They really, really got messages to share. And look at this. It says, I am trying. Okay. They're trying and trying and trying, but they don't like to fight battles. Geminis don't. They're partners. They watch, they're twins. And that's the other thing when you look at this and you see the kids that I am trying. Geminis, kids who are born that are twins, are naturally inclined to, they don't share, I say, the bag of goods. As far as personality, skills, abilities, they don't share them 50-50, even if they're identical twins. One of them always gets a different bag of goods than the other because they are not completely identical energies. One came out before the other one. They grew side by side. They are not the same animal, human being, even though they were born out of one at the same time. There are a lot of similarities, but they are not the same. They are unique individuals. And I think that's where the 11th house is. I am unique in my community. Notice me for my uniqueness, right? That's 11 is a very unique number. It's very inspirational. It's like, I am trying, but maybe not your way. I'm trying in my own way. I'm trying on my own pace. I'm trying in my own way because I have to figure out how I come into the world, how I present myself, my direction, because they want to be a member. I want to be a noticed member of the community. This isn't just the crowd. They want to be a contributing member. Okay. So late talkers may feel that they're not good enough when their behaviors at first tries at speech are more often judged and corrected than heard and responded to. Okay. Or they're compared to their partner or other kids. Like these kids, when they say, I am trying, that means that they get the feeling that someone is comparing them to other kids and they think that they're not doing their best. Okay. But they are. They just are doing their own version of the best. And it's all expectations that are being misunderstood. Notice and appreciate all tries at communication, no matter what behavior or speech comes out. When you hear jargon or babble, tell the late talker how you love to hear their speech, that you adore that they are practicing, that you can't wait to hear when the words start coming out, but you know they're trying and you know they're putting in effort, okay? These Geminis are feeling it right now. It's in their 11th house. And this is where you second guess yourself. Am I good enough? Am I good enough to be here? And then even when you're judged, you have to feel that you are good enough to be here and overcome that judgment to have self-confidence to be in the world. Geminis are working on this right now with this Leo new moon. They're planting seeds for development of self-confidence in the world. I want to be not just in the class. I want to be a member of this class. I want people to notice me. Okay? They want you to notice them and they want to be part of it. Okay. That's what's going on with the Geminis. Big message for the Geminis. Now, the last one, the last sign to get through all 12 is Cancer. So if your late talker has their sun in Cancer, their rising in Cancer, or their Mercury in the sign of Cancer, they are in their 12th house. This new moon is activated their 12th house, which is the house of the subconscious. These are the things that are coming up, bringing up all the mindset things in your late talker who is a Cancer rising, especially. Sun and moon maybe to a lesser degree, but definitely Cancer or Mercury, rising or Mercury in Cancer right now. Your kid is feeling the feels. They want to change from the deep level of themselves to bring it out of their subconscious and into the world, onto the stage. That's what the Leo new moon is. I intend to, all of this stuff that I know and love and understand about myself, I intend to represent, because they're coming next month is their ego season, right? Next month, when they come into this new moon, it's going to be their first house, right? They're going to be, it's amazing. So anyway, let's go. What do they have? Here it is. Red card for Cancer. It says, behave consistently. Patterns help me feel safe. Okay. So they're relying on what they have learned in the past. They understand what they've seen. They understand what works, what doesn't. Remember, 12th house, they know a lot. They've been through the cycle, right? For this Leo moon especially, what are they projecting? They were projecting last month what they had, kind of how they fit in the community. Now they're like, whoa, now that I understand all of that stuff, I'm bringing it out. Behave consistently. Late talkers rely on a daily schedule as well as the patterns of behavior in their caregivers to learn what help and support they can expect from you, right? Not what you can expect from them, what they can expect from you. How are you going to help them? Detail the order and duration. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do it for this minutes. We're going to do it for this long. And then we're going to do that, right? Get these contracts going. Clarify your expectations. Analyze your own behavior as a facilitator for recent changes to find the root of new or unwanted behaviors. If your child is stuck in lining up and organizing and putting their things together, they're trying to make sense. They're trying to make sense of what they're thinking about. They're trying to put it down on paper. And maybe it's not paper. Maybe it's some organized way. They like to or line things up A to Z or whatever they do, okay? So that is what I have for you today. What an interesting video that we did where we talked about the astrology. There's videos to watch. You can look at these pictures for this is now when we talked about these houses, those are the houses that are activated for this period of time when I filmed this video, which is July 27th, right before the Leo new moon and the triple conjunction. So look at your child's chart, look at these houses where these things are happening, and then understand how things are going. And if you want to dig more into the energy behind it, get yourself a deck of language facilitation inspiration cards in the description of this video. You can get them and do what I just did today with your own child. You don't have to pull all 12 signs. You can just pull different cards for your own child. What about what's going on in their first house? Pull 12 cards for your child. Pull cards to talk about how you are feeling. You know what I mean? These are a tool for you to use. Astrology is a tool. The cards are a tool. These videos are a tool. It's all just here to equip and empower you to be a language facilitator. And then I just want to remind you, tomorrow's video, where I do live Q&A every Thursday. If this is the first time you're watching me, you're super welcome. Every Thursday, you can ask me questions about your late talker. You can talk about what you've been trying with them. You can share information about other things that you've learned from your late talker. You can share progress about your late talker when they start talking. In tomorrow's video, we're going to be talking about when expectations are unmet, when you've been working and your child's not talking, or they fail the tests at school, or anything in your world blows up, because that's what could be going on right now. You could be, all of your best laid plans are literally blowing up with this triple conjunction that's going on with Jupiter retrograding in Aries, a new moon in Leo. There's a lot to work with. There's a lot of energy to work with right now. I hope this information was helpful to you as you dig in and start to work with the energies just like I do. And it helps you improve your life and improve your experience as a language facilitator and improve your relationship with your late talking child. That's my goal for this information on this video. I hope it was helpful to you. Thank you again for joining. Like this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.